Damn it. I screwed that up.
That's like a full teaching load.
Damn it.
It wouldn't be right if you didn't fuck it up.
Nope.
A few weeks ago, President of Slumbertown, Sleepy Joe Biden, announced his nominee for the Supreme Court, Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Are we going to get a judge here who's going to protect children or who's going to protect child predators?
She is soft on some of the crimes, like sexual crimes.
And she's saying that she's like, sexual crimes. We can't show you back here, but that's totally what she looks like. She's a hot blonde talking about sexual crimes.
I got one word for you. Evidence.
Oh, what the fuck, man? What do you...
She also praised the 1619 Project.
Is she really one of this country's great legal minds? One way to know, one indication would be her LSAT scores.
Who is this nice-looking woman, and why is she a threat to America? Well, I just watched 687 hours of Fox News. And
That's how I feel. So, I am legit Tyler.
I am your Miss Parker.
Now, she showed this to me. Or you sent this to me.
I sent it to
you.
you.
Sent this to me, and I was like,
Yeah, it's like she just snorted a line of Fox News. Actually, about 50 lines of Fox.
I felt like that every day. When she said that,
Felt like what every day?
like for the last like year, 2 years.
Can't watch that shit. I mean, I know we have to
Right.
watch little bits of it, but I can't watch it. It makes me insane. It's like there are two tracks your brain can go down. You could totally believe it, or you go insane.
Yeah, it has given me like fever dreams, let's call them. Like where I've just been like, I've spent a day.
It is like a bad mushroom trip.
You gotta do a bunch of cocaine, go to a sex party, deal with this.
No,
I'm ready to
you gotta
Fox
shoot
explain
heroin.
exactly who Ketanji Brown Jackson really is. Credenza Brown Jackson is part of the radical, far-left, Green New Deal
So
Geek
bad.
Squad vaccine mandators. KBJ was a public defender who represented some seriously questionable characters, murderers, terrorists. Why isn't she once represented someone
just showed
not
Obama.
charged with a crime? Seriously, show me in the U.S. legal code where it says criminals have the right to an attorney. I'll wait. Costanza Brown Jackson refuses to
That's 'cause
release
nobody
her
in the-
LSAT scores, despite previous
nobody in
nominees
the
doing so
audience
0%
can
of the
read.
time. I want to see Ketanji's LSAT, her MCAT, her STD test, her AOL screen name, and her high scores in Tetris. Yeah.
This is hilarious.
This is what passes for legit news these days. Is that like a brain puzzle?
It's a Tetris.
Oh, it's Tetris.
There's
Okay.
a new KKK in town. Ketanji, Kamala, Ilhan Omar. Do we even have time to confirm a Supreme Court justice? We have an election 2 years and 239 days away. Let's just wait. Couple questions for you, Ketanji. How high is your blood pressure? What's your JetBlue status? How far can you throw a javelin? Are we even sure Ketanji
I thought about when I heard that, I went, how far could I throw a javelin?
And then your brain went off down that rabbit hole. And
it disappeared off of it.
see, you got to be careful because Fox News looks for people with ADHD.
Well, Kamala Jacqueline Brown, she's got me all flustered.
Elon Komar.
I'm waiting for craft CBD to kick in.
Brown Jackson is
Under your
because I've
tongue.
been hauled in front of
That's
tons
where
of
it's
judges,
gone.
and I've never seen her once. What word knocked you out of the second grade spelling bee, Judge Jackson? Is Kimchi Brown Jackson soft on child pornographers? Sex offenders deserve the harshest punishment possible. Unless they used to host a Fox News show, in which case it's cancel culture. And that's everything you need to know about Ketanji Brown Jackson. It'll be interesting to see if she gets confirmed.
She's all.
Jen Psaki can breathe underwater.
And
I didn't get
jizz.
that joke. I didn't get that joke. Jay had to Fox explain that joke to me. Do you want to explain to the one
No.
person in the audience
No.
who doesn't know what that means? Okay.
They can ask me in person.
And you'll say, well, shall I provide the master class on that?
Oh, okay. What do you have to say? I'm waiting on you.
You want me to talk about that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking hilarious. I think we
Went off the rails.
we just had to show it. I mean, it's funny, and we didn't come up with it.
We've lost
and
an
it kinda
aspect to the
makes me
show.
sad.
See, yeah, they couldn't see it, but they can watch it. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, go to the Daily Show
Yeah.
YouTube page and type in who is Ketanji Brown
You just slip
Jackson?
me off.
No, no. I just had a little itch.
No. I so I've been we were I think you're number one too. So uh, we were watching the Chris Rock and Will Smith thing. All
Oh
that,
yeah, in case
right?
you haven't heard about that,
And then what?
Will Smith slapped Chris Rock in the middle of an awards show.
So I had watched it a handful of times, and we had watched it you know what I mean, just clipping
A
through it.
handful of times.
Right. Right. The Fresh Prince. That was
Yeah, that was bad.
still, we didn't think of it.
I know. I know.
Uh,
We should have a eulogy for every joke that somebody else makes that we should have made.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
I'm out of puns.
Well, let's move on to the next topic
Okay.
then, since we're kind of on a time crunch here. Why don't we talk about harm reduction? John Oliver did a show on
Yeah, if you didn't see it.
the concept of harm reduction with illicit drug use. And predictably, there are certain right wingers who believe that we're enabling and encouraging drug use by having like safe places for people to shoot up, despite the fact that like 30% of people who go to those places will end up in rehab of their own volition,
Yeah, this
and
is,
they have 100% chance of not dying.
yeah.
Thought it sounded like we were just enabling people to use drugs. But the truth is, in the places where it's worked, in Australia and Europe and Canada, more people get off of drugs. Like people who use supervised injection are 30% more likely to enter into treatment.
That's what I just
And
said.
they're 100% less likely to die.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
So people go into these quote unquote supervised shooting galleries and no one has died. People OD all the time, but not in these places. So what? You want people to die? Is
Yeah.
that what it is? You want to kill
Well,
off all of the addicts?
Luis Vincent, executive director of the North Carolina Survivors Union, has this to fucking say about
Yeah.
it.
Is disconnect people in the
Because I'm
Uh,
trying to tell complete.
if you are found to be a person who uses drugs and needs help, we start with disconnecting you. And I truly believe that addiction is the opposite of connection. So what we do is everything wrong to help a person. We disconnect people from their families. We disconnect people from their friends. We alienate people from work. We disconnect them from community. And then we disconnect them from their freedom, finally. And when people finally have nothing left, then they will use until they die.
that
That
was
spells it
fucking brutal.
all out right there. I was telling Jay that when when people are drawn to addictive substances that kill them because they don't believe they have an alternative,
Yeah.
because they're not happy.
I was like, look, you just keep me busy. I'm less
You
likely to
need
fucking
something
drink.
That
right?
keeps
They
you,
could
you need things that keep you
keep
happy.
me busy.
And there was a study done. You know, you've probably all heard of the studies of rats with cocaine. It's like you give a rat some cocaine, get them addicted, and then you put the cocaine on the other side of an electric strip, and they will cross that electric strip and stand on it just to get at the cocaine. Now, an alternative study that was done was they would take rats, get them addicted to cocaine, and then they would offer them the choice of cocaine.
Sounds like a party.
They'd offer them
Madison Cawthorn.
yeah.
Where you at?
He's already at one of those parties and he chose the cocaine because the other option that I'm about to describe is not available to Madison Cawthorn.
I had to throw
So
that
they
in.
offered them the alternative of a viable mate, a female. They had male rats and they would offer them a viable female as an alternative to cocaine, one or the other.
And
And most of the
the
time,
female rat was arrested for domestic violence.
no, the female rat got laid, is what happened.
So, yeah.
The female rat was seen laying back smoking a cigarette, and the cocaine was still there. That's the moral of the story. You offer a good alternative to the substance. Yeah.
It's making me laugh.
Who's under the table?
Yeah, that shit's making me laugh. Sorry.
So offer a viable alternative, a good viable alternative. And rat nature, at least, is that they will seek the alternative.
She's talking about hoe logic.
Yep, that is hoe logic right there.
Well, you guys, we're gonna get to that.
So the hoes are out and about, and the drug dealers are out and about. Guess who's getting business? If they charge the same for the hose as they do for the cocaine, what would you
Sounds like a
choose? You'd choose the hose.
Sounds like a whole logistical nightmare.
Of course, Jay would never pay for it.
Oh, damn. I don't know what that means.
Jay would choose the cocaine.
No, I wouldn't.
Right.
Oh, yeah, no.
Anyway.
I would share with everybody because that would make for a fun part.
Yeah, it would. And then
I would be the not greedy rat.
You know what he would do is he'd snort the cocaine, and then he wouldn't need hose because the women would be throwing themselves at him.
What I would do is I would give the cocaine to all of you and then sit back and watch the fucking shit.
And you'll snap on your GoPro.
Nothing. Look, I like watching people take drugs like I like watching people play video games. I'm not very good at video games. I'm not very good at drugs. And so
oh, I thought you did drugs like a rock star, but I guess define good, right?
Yeah. So there's that. Like, but I did that lots of times. I got a cake. Sipped my rum and coke while I watched
the melee ensue.
Know your role.
On the subject of being altered,
ask Mark.
That brings us to Florida Man.
Oh,
okay. So this is in honor of Jay's little sister Jocelyn.
Yes.
I'm not going to tell you when her birthday is. Jay's not even certain he got it right, but he gave me a date. I looked it up, and this is what I got.
Especially since the other one I gave you was like this horrible murder.
Yeah, it was a murder. It looked like the one that I found. It looked like a guy had slaughtered somebody's mascot and put it in gumbo.
Yeah.
And if that had been the case, I would have run with it. But it turned out
it's a new breed of criminal.
A couple got in a fight, and one ended up dead over gumbo. What spices to put in the gumbo?
So, yeah, we're not talking about that.
No, we're talking about something else. Yeah. Whoa, Rocky.
No, Rocky's out there. All right.
Rocky's having a bad trip. Okay, so Florida man with 500 grams of weed.
That's not even.
And there are no commas in this either. It's just
wait. Don't spoil it yet. Florida man with 500 grams of weed does what? Think about that. There, look, we'll give you a little.
Okay, let me guess. He said I'm high as shit, and I'm happy.
The people that sold him the drugs were like, he had 600 grams. They all went to jail. But he's ripping us off.
He shoved dumplings in his mannequin's mouth.
No, you know what he did? He did the most Miami thing ever. He stole an alligator airboat. No, he didn't. No. What did he do?
He made alligator pie and fed it to his mom in a dumpling.
Meth gator pie.
Okay. He stole a plane to go see his girlfriend. What it doesn't say in the headline.
I'm assuming was in prison.
No, I think she was out in California. He was in Florida because, Florida men have a hard time keeping their women around. So he was going to fly off and go see her. There was only one little
solid plan.
Solid plan. There's only one little problem.
What?
Guess what the little problem was? Guess what what the vexing issue was that prevented him from flying off into the
He's
sunset.
not a pilot. He had no gas, and what? He wasn't a pilot. He had no gas.
You're really close. He wasn't a pilot, but do you really have to be a pilot? You just need to know how to fly a plane. Right?
No, right. I mean, enough time on the Xbox, and you got it.
You know, if you've done some simulations, maybe you stand a chance of not killing yourself.
Yeah.
So no, this guy had no idea how to fly a plane.
So
he stole a
level
car.
up.
Yeah.
Time to level up.
Well, he somehow he had 500 grams of weed. So I think he was feeling pretty proud of himself about that.
Yeah.
He successfully stole a car and made it out to the tarmac. So he's feeling pretty good about himself at this point. So he's probably
got a half a kilo and a plan and a girlfriend.
Yeah.
In Canada or something.
California.
I know.
Yeah. Still 3,000 miles
I
away.
have a girlfriend. She lives in Canada.
I have a girlfriend. Yeah. She goes to another school.
She lives. Yeah. I need to steal this fucking plane with a fucking half kilo of the finest weed. It's like, dude, you could just go to California and get 500 grams of weed.
Yeah, why don't you?
What was the purpose?
Rather than put the cart before the horse, you could, because this is in 2020, so weed is legal in California at this point. So why not steal the car, drive across the country, have a little patience, put on a diaper so you don't have to stop anywhere.
I recommend Oregon, bro.
But his girlfriend.
Super fucking
so you've got sex and weed in California. So you drive across the country to California, buy some weed.
No.
Or you put the weed in the car and drive across the country to your girlfriend and maybe trade the weed for something better. Like
I recommend
a ring or something.
You know what? I'm on board with his fast and furious lifestyle. YOLO.
Yeah, this guy's been living on the screen his entire life. Okay, so there's so many things wrong with this story. Well, duh. A Florida man was arrested at the New Smyrna Beach Municipal Airport this past weekend for trying to steal a plane. Did he know how to fly a plane? Nope. But he was going to give it a shot. He's got that Florida man spirit. He's got that can-do attitude. Reportedly, a 22-year-old Florida man stole a vehicle.
I'm an FBI agent.
Drove it to the airport. Once there, he took a large blue bag with, it's blue. It's definite Florida right there. It was probably like a cat or a dog shit bag.
I was thinking of Breaking Bad or something.
Oh yeah, the blue meth.
No, I mean, this is a half a kilo. This is going to be a lot of weed. Like a suitcase.
It was a big dog shit bag. Speaking of which, I ordered some Putin shit bags and they haven't arrived yet.
He was arguing over whether he should check the bags into his stolen aircraft. And they were like, it's overweight.
Can't bring this into the carry-on. Okay. Once there, he took a large blue bag with 500 grams of weed and snuck out to the tarmac.
Dun, 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 dun.
Police say he crouched on the wing of one of the airplanes and asked a flight instructor if he knew how to fly the plane. He's like, yeah, I want to steal this plane. Can you help me fly this plane?
Oh, Florida.
Can you just explain to me? Give me a crash course, crash course in how to fly the plane.
Oh, this doesn't get old.
By the time the officers got to the plane, the man was sitting inside of it and again began asking if someone knew how to fly it. Like, officer, hey, I'm high as fuck and I'm happy. You know how to fly this plane?
Here, hold my half kilo of weed.
Yeah.
While I start this plane. He's outside pulling on the fucking prop.
Allegedly, he said
he's trying to fly it like a fucking GTA. He's like on top of the fucking plane. Like,
woohoo! Allegedly, he said he was the manager for a local dispensary. They don't maybe for medical use in Florida. and was going to fly the plane to California to see his girlfriend and drop off the 500 grams of weed there. But let's keep in mind, he didn't know how to fly the plane. Bad idea, buddy.
Also, that's you'd have to have a pretty big fucking plane. Like, you can't just fly from Florida like on one tank of gas in a small plane. Like,
that's a good point. I hadn't even thought of that.
Dude, this guy did not think this through.
Yeah. Okay. So
don't get high on your own supply.
It's just
And don't try to fly. Don't lie. Rent a car from Hertz.
And you won't die.
Enterprise. They'll pick you up.
Well, except for now, it's impossible to get a rental car. So this story, fortunately, does not include any family members from the previous Florida man stories where they're all related. I mean, he's probably related to one of our Florida men, but we don't have any photos of him, and we can't get it on the back screen for you anyway.
Broken.
You have to get to work on that.
Hey, you know
Project.
What? All right. Are we done?
We are done. We have not. We would be remiss if we didn't mention San Juan Slingshots out in San Miguel County, Colorado. Davy Crockett Rowan makes these amazing slingshots for shooting co-hosts and zombies. And
mine is very powerful.
I don't. Ooh, one of your crows just flew by.
Yeah, I put peanuts.
Oh, taking your nuts.
And the crows love my nuts.
All right, so that's a wrap. We squoze out 5 segments today and broke a monitor.
This beloved monitor. This is the eulogy.
Yeah.
For my this is a higher flat screen. It's a little thick, but it's old as fuck. I've had it for 6 years.
And he didn't pay for it.
And I didn't pay for it because I was working at this I was working at a ARC thrift store in Colorado right before I moved out here. I just was like, I was done, set in stone. And this guy pulls up and he goes, "Hey, take these." And they're like, "No, we don't take it." And I'm like, "Meet me over there." And I just went over and I got this.
Nice.
So fond memories for this thing. It's come from Colorado. It lasted me for 6 years.
Nice.
Without costing me a dime.
All right.
So,
all right. Good story.
Okay.
So that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
I am your Miss Parker.
I am the J. Tyler.
And this.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I jumped the gun, didn't you? Not again.
Darn, that's the end.
And if you don't know,
call the police. Thank you, everybody.
We'll see you tomorrow.
You ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Right.
Done.
now you know.